So today we are working on the Ascending Wellness Manifestation Journal, and it is a 30-day journal. And the beginning of the book starts with your vision board pages, right? So I give 4 vision board pages, and it really is to write words, have pictures to really anchor in what you want to do. So I'm gonna leverage obviously these 12 of these all year long, one for each month, 30-day journal. So on my first 4 pages we have vision pages. Before I do the actual visualizations of like gluing and sticking in stickers and pictures and words that really affirm what my year is going to look like, today I want to take the time to really write down those things, and in that I'm going to leverage some of my coaching techniques. So if you are my client and you're watching this, some of these things will feel very familiar for you. And if you're new, this at least will give you a little insight as to what coaching is, how it looks, what you can glean from our experience together. And so I'm going to be doing it with myself. And what we're doing is just writing down what we want to achieve. So hard skills and soft skills. Soft skills are those interpersonal things, right? What do you want to lean on? Internally, how do you want to better yourself? Where do you want to end up in 2024? And then my hard skills, where do I see myself physically being, right? Financially, financially, tactically, skill-wise, technically. And so we're going to write those down, and then we're going to identify the why. So it'll get us to our big motivating factor, our big mofo. And we're going to identify the why beneath all the things that I write. So we're going to do a little bit of etching out. The first few I'll explain to you kind of what it is. Some of them are a little personal, I won't. But like, at least so you can see the pattern of what's going on. And again, when you come into a session with me, it'll feel familiar. And if you've already been in a session with me, you'll be like, oh, that's what she's doing. That's why she be doing that. I didn't get it. Or, oh, shoot, that's how I got there, right? So just give you a little bit of that. In here, after the visualization pages, we have our daily journals. And in the daily journals, we go through a couple of things. I don't want to physically start mine until the 1st of January. So I'm doing some work now to prepare. So like, again, figuring out my motivating factor, figuring out the words. And what I like to do is, the reason why I like to write it first before I do the visuals is, it's kind of like when you're building a house and people like put scriptures or the vibe that they want for the house on the studs, right? And on the like wooding, the wood that goes below the sheetrock and stuff like that. Essentially, that's what I'm doing with the journal. I'm concreting in my whys before I do the visualization. A little extra prayer, right? A little bit of an extra love letter to God. And I am very excited. So to have a couple of minutes with the baby being with his grandmother, I am going to take the time to kind of just reflect and do this internally and with myself. And again, you don't have to start your actual daily journals on the 1st. I just want to. So I am doing my prep work now, and then we have a couple of weeks before we actually start the daily journals. This is kind of going to be like me starting that feeling of journaling again. It's been a little bit, so getting back into the groove of things, doing my whys. It's going to take me a while to like sit, think, write the thing, figure it out. And again, I will talk you through a couple of these as we go along. All right, so we're starting with the soft skills. And with the soft skills, where do I want to be? Who do I want to embody in 2024? So I definitely want to be more faithful. And with that, why do I want to be more faithful? Or what would being faithful do for me and the people around me, right? So it will help me with less anxiety. And then I'm going to write out all my whys. And then from there, I'm going to stem out and do more whys, right? So being more faithful will help me with less anxiety. It will help me with achieving my goals. Same but different, it'll allow me to not give up or give in. And again, you could do it any way that makes you feel comfortable, right? This is just kind of a free-flowing, free writing session for me. And so it's going to look a little chaotic. So as you see, I write really little, by the way. But as you see, faithful, and then we're stemming out. And then from there, I'm going to stem out some more. And it's going to look a little chaotic because I'm putting pictures and stuff over top of this. I really don't care how the studs look. I just want to concrete it and do the work. You can do it a little bit more charty or a little bit more boxy. You can do it on an Excel spreadsheet. You don't have to do it in the book. Again, it's just a practice for me. And I like to start out this way so that when I go to the visualization, I can pour in my whys, right? And manifest those whys and put in the work for those whys so that it's not just a picture, right? I don't want to just say, oh, I want to lose weight, right? I can make more actionable goals by saying, I want to lose weight 15 pounds because those 15 pounds will help me lower my triglyceride levels. Or I want to lose weight. Why? Because actually I want to eat healthy, and by eating healthy, subsequently I'll lose weight. You know what I'm saying? So it gives you a different why. It gives you a different visualization. It makes you believe what success looks like a little bit differently when you actually get down to the nitty-gritty, when you actually specify what you're doing, why you're doing it, who's it going to affect, right? So be more faithful. I will personally have less anxiety. This is just affecting me, right? I will be able to achieve more goals. I will not give up or give in easily. I won't pass that on. I'll be a good example for Joey. And my clients, right? I have more success stories. So that's better for the business, right? I'll live longer because I have less anxiety. Because I'll believe it'll work out. And a lot of these work in a loop, right? And so if I'm more faithful and I have less anxiety, then I get overwhelmed a lot less, which means I will then achieve my goals, which then will mean that I will be less stressed and less worried because I have done all these things, right? So some of these things work in a loop. So you might be like, oh, okay, these connect here, and this actually feeds off of this. Again, I like doing activities like this. I do this stuff with my clients. Again, my why is I'll be here for Joey. It'll help affect live longer. So be here for my family. I won't pass the anxiety down to Joey. Again, and these are just starting with my soft skills. And then when I go from soft skills, we'll then go to technically and hard skills. But I think that the soft skills, again, and it was all a loop. So then when I go to the hard skills and I figure out the why and then I identify who I have to be able to achieve that, then I'll then say, oh, shoot, I have to be a more faithful person, right? And so it's all a closed loop. Again, I love it. I love how to see how it all connects, why each piece is important individually and together, and just really doing that work. So let's go. So faithful is less anxious. I want to feel freer. And so that's giving myself permission to focus on me. So I just finished my first page of soft skills and just high level. Some of these things are super personal for me, so just share high level. So my bullet points are for me to be more faithful, to feel freer, to be happier, more trusting, more resourceful, more actionable, and healthier. And so like for the healthier one, just to kind of give you a little bit of what I do is, so I want to be healthier. And what does healthier look like for me? So getting my fruit and veggies from the farmer's market, which means inevitably to juice more, which will inevitably help me just be overall healthier, mind, body, spirit, being more mindful of what's going in me, right? Which is going to force me to slow down and like map out my mornings, right? Which means that I have to be about 20% more selfish because I have to free up my plate more to be able to focus in on me. Because a lot of my issue is that I don't allow myself to focus in on myself because I'm taking care of everything else. So you see, what will this do for me? Again, it will force me to free up my plate. It'll help me physically be healthier, mentally be healthier. That means if I'm eating right, I'm going to want to pair working out with it a little bit more, right? Because one goes with the other. And once you start feeling better in one area and you have more energy, free up my time more, I can have more time to focus on myself, which means working out a little bit more physically. Going to the farmer's market means I have to pick a day again to go out. Maybe that'll be the day I do all the things for myself, and do for the home, right? That makes sure that there's food in the house for not only myself, but the baby and John. So that's what it does for others around me. Make sure that they're eating healthier. I am setting the example by actually doing it. And so I tend to do this activity with my clients, and try to dig into the motivating factor, the whys behind it all, right? Usually when you can kind of get to the emotional stuff, that the real whys, right? Again, I want my baby to be healthy. So I want him to see a healthy mom. I want him to see me not only be healthy physically, but healthy mentally, healthy emotionally. I want him to see a healthy balance in the household, right? Of, oh, my mom was still able to take care of herself, although she took care of the household as well, took care of me, also went for her dreams. But she also made sure that she was taken care of. I think that's important for him to see so that he has a healthy balance, right? And then makes me a happier mom at home. Again, gives him more emotional balance. Again, so we do this deep dive. So I've done this with the interpersonal stuff, and now we're going to do the hard skills. So like making sure Ascending Wellness is as successful as possible. What does that look like? Having a happy, healthy marriage. What does that look like? Stuff like that. And so we're going to go down the list, finish up the 4 pages, and then this will help me once I go to actually do the visualization of it all and envision it and picture it. I'll be able to pull out pictures better and words better, and things will vibe with me a little bit more because I mapped out what I want my next year to fulfill in my life. And then we go and then chunk that down and do it in 30 days, right? And so what do the first 30 days look like for me? And I allow myself to do the year in the first month, right? Because then as I'm working towards it, as I'm writing down what I've been doing, as I'm seeing and giving myself curiosity to play with it, okay, this worked, this didn't work. I need to take him to school at this time, or I was able to take that off my plate. Somebody else can take him to school, so I freed up this time, right? Gives me about 30 days to kind of figure out the ebb and flow. I think the issue a lot with resolutions is we go in and we say we're going to lose 15 pounds, and then we go into it. We have a mind frame of what we think we're going to do, we go to the gym is not working, and then we give up, right? But if you allow yourself the first 30 days to ebb and flow and understand how it's going to work, journal that out. Again, this worked, this didn't work. I liked this, but I don't know if it's sustainable. Let's see if I could do this in a different way. I noticed that juicing every day isn't going to work. So maybe I can bulk juice and do like every 2 to 3 days. Maybe I allow myself, me and John, right, me and my partner, swap days of taking in the baby, right? So maybe see what those schedules look like. Maybe I take every other Wednesday off so that I can have a full day of taking care of myself, right? Whatever that looks like. And then after those 30 days, then you can say, okay, I figured out my game plan. I figured out my comfort. I figured out the things that worked for me in these first 30 days. So the month of January, I was able to figure out, okay, what I really love, what I didn't love. February is still going to be a testing, but now I can jump in a little bit easier and say, okay, I mapped it out the first 30 days. Let's put this into effect in February fully, right? We worked out the schedule. We saw it. So this is the beta test. The alpha was really figuring out the kinks. Now we're in beta test phase for the second month of the year, the next 30 days. And so then you could say, all right, now my new vision for this month is the things that I figured out that worked well. So I'm going to the gym at 8 a.m., juicing 3 times a week, switching out the workouts. Maybe I have an actual class that I found that I really like. Whatever that looks like, right? Again, I'm focusing on the health just because that's the first thing that I thought of. Going to the farmer's market every other Sunday. Whatever that looks like. Doing my Costco runs on this day, whatever. And then you get to map out February. This is what the month is going to look like. And then again, we journal. We give ourselves room to grow. I joke and I like to say, save room for Jesus, right? Because you really don't want to plan down to the minute details, because you want to leave room for Jesus. You want to leave room for the opportunity that things can change and look a little bit differently than you envision. And then we write it out and we talk about it for the next 30 days. And then we pivot and figure out what's the next month looking like. Okay, this worked, this didn't work. And when you leave that wiggle room, you don't have that concrete idea of what this thing is supposed to be. So then it allows you to not feel like a failure immediately. It allows you to say, okay, we're leading with curiosity. We're figuring it out. This didn't work. Let's move this piece and change it here and see if this puzzle piece fits a little bit better. Monkey wrench was thrown in. Okay. So I'm not fixated on what the whole year looks like. Again, I chunked it down to 30 days. So that gives me a little bit more room to be like, okay, this has to change this month, right? And that's why I love the 30-day journal. That's why I love doing this work. And that's what I love doing as a coach, is helping my clients have that opportunity and feel that feeling of life isn't as overwhelming if we just chunk it down and do the techniques and do the tactics and think about it in a different framework. And so I hope this work has helped you. I'm going to finish now and pivot to my hard skills. And then I'll meet with you guys again later. It's a 30-day journal, has starts with your vision board pages. And then once we get to January 1st, so in a couple of weeks, I will walk through the first day of journaling with you guys. And again, the daily journals have different sections for different things. So you track your mood, you have your attitude for gratitude, your goals and intentions, your reflections, or as I call it in my sessions, ahas. So I put that in the book. Space for creativity, and then write down just one thing you accomplished today. If it's showing up to journal and that was your accomplishment of the day, then that is your accomplishment. And we get into the habit of celebrating ourselves. And then you have your free space to just kind of write about what your day looked like. How did your day go? And I am excited for you guys to be on this journey with me. Get your books. We will continue to work through the vision boards until the 1st. And then we will finalize our vision boards on the 1st. We'll do a year. You could do a year. I like to work with different sizes, so we can do a year. You can do what your quarter looks like, so your 90 days, and then what your month looks like for your 30-day. The manifestation journals can be purchased at ascendingwellness.org.